Dude, I hope
Yeah,
so.
this is pretty early in the season.
Yeah, I didn't expect.
If they do it.
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all. Oh, I see something down there. Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, and then they open up on Omega's spot first.
this is beautiful. Why do I feel like something bad's gonna happen?
I know, I can feel that. Just like an orbital strike or something like that.
It's gonna be emotional, dude. Good grief.
Oh.
Now there's a sight!
Rika!
Oh! I wasn't even sure your message was real.
Rika!
That's beautiful, dude.
I knew you'd show up.
Across the galaxy 4 times looking for you. 5.
Ooh. That's
But you're
awesome.
the one who found us.
What a line, dude.
Beast. What a beast. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. The music.
We missed you, kid.
Dude.
We never stopped searching. But how did you escape?
Hmm.
Oh, here it comes. Dude, this gives me goosebumps. Oh, the music is
Dude.
incredible.
Dude, that's sick.
Boom, you looking for this?
Welcome back to Boomshot. I'm Kel. This is Colby.
Let me wipe the tears out of my eyes right now,
The
dude.
tears out of my eyes after that ending, man. We just watched episode 2 of The Bad Batch season 3, and dude, episode 4. Sorry. Week 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. They released 3 episodes of in the first week. That just threw me off. Okay, we watched that though, and wow,
Incredible.
it just keeps on getting better. So we're gonna go ahead and cover this episode, review it, starting out. Dude, all right. I know we had our tears, but like, what'd you think about the episode?
Oh, man, that was incredible, man. I mean,
Yeah.
that last scene there was just the music was just incredible. I'll go ahead and say it. It's kind of early, but that's like one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, yeah.
From in any of the animated shows.
Yeah, it's really weird. Kevin Kiner is usually the one who directs these, or like not directs but composes the music. It's like you hit the highest high whenever she meets, like she comes back to Wrecker and Hunter, and then you hit the lowest low. And I was like, yeah, you definitely could feel it, man.
Yeah.
That was well executed. But like the episode as a whole, like I really liked how this season seems to be focusing more on a single story, narrative driven thing where it's like each episode builds on the episode before.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I will say this real quick. I booted up Bad Batch on my phone and I pressed like on the main thing that scrolls across the top, and it started playing episode 1 of season 1. And it showed the red Clone Wars logo like fade out, and it had the opening monologue. I was like, "This is sick!"
Yeah,
and I was like, "Wait a minute, I've seen this before,
dude."
But it kind of had Clone Wars feels. That's why I bring that up because like this episode felt Clone Wars.
Yeah, like you open up and it picks up with Omega and Crosshair as they've escaped the planet Tantus and now they're on their way. They have to drop out of hyperspace, but it did feel very Clone Wars-esque, where like. I think it's because it feels like it's part of a broader arc, and so it's very focused, but it's also very connected to the episodes that came before it, which I think it's a good thing. I think that's what the Bad Batch has needed for a long time. I like it. Like I was okay with the way the episodes were previously constructed, whereas like they were jumping from place to place and they weren't really built on the last episode. Like it was just kind of like an anthology. I like how this is like each episode's connecting back to the episode before it.
Yeah, I feel like it's all been building up to this, and we're only 4 episodes in out of 15. And it's already getting bittersweet that this is the last season for me. I mean, I feel like they're hitting their stride right now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and again, if the first 2 seasons being... all right were to give us the final season like the Clone Wars, count me in. I'll take it. You won't see me complaining. So this episode was great, dude. And can we just talk about how Omega's a 5-star gambler, dude?
That was incredible. You got to give her some props, dude.
Yeah.
She was wheeling a deal.
Yeah,
and then she cooked the Imperial officer. Let's go.
Dude, that officer didn't know. But you have to think it makes sense being on Camino, being trained. Like, I guess she's maybe a master tactician. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's still a lot about her character that isn't well known. Maybe because Nala Se's trying to keep everything under wraps at this point about like. What is so incredible about her DNA and all, but she just got it in her, dude. She pulled a Han Solo or Lando Calrissian out there.
Yeah, dude. I'm back to what you're saying about her character being different. Like, I wonder what it is about her character that is different. Like, is it that she is one of the final remaining like almost original clones of Jango Fett?
That's kind of what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe they have confirmed that in the past. I don't necessarily remember it, but
I don't know if they have. Like, tell us if you know, and they did. But to me, like in my mind, I've always thought she was Omega because like Boba was Alpha, and they both have like 100% or whatever of Jango's DNA.
Yeah.
But there may be something else too, since she was the last, like something extra as well that they figured out by the end of like making all the clones that they figured out with her. Yeah,
and so I'm just wondering, like. It feels like by the end of the season they're all gonna have to die.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
dude.
that's where I'm at, and I don't want to see it, but it feels like they're all gonna have to die. There's no way they live, or maybe it ends on a dark note. Maybe Omega does get captured and they steal her DNA to make clones of Palpatine.
Ooh, that would stink, bro.
Yeah,
but I could see it. Man.
But you think about it, like that to me single handedly would make the sequels way better. Knowing that it was tied all the way back to almost the prequel era, knowing that it was tied back to something super important with a character that we loved too.
Yeah. And also like it's not so obvious. Like we see they're going that way, but like the Bad Batch has been their own thing to make us feel invested in the characters, and then it's like. It's going to make us feel even more when it ties in, assuming it does. Yeah. It's not just like they created a character like for the sole purpose of connecting it. Like, it doesn't feel that way. Yeah, exactly. Because Omega could be like a character, like a lifeless MacGuffin. Like they're constantly having to save her, constantly having to try to find her and all this stuff. Like, she couldn't really, like, she could be a character that doesn't really have any depth. But she actually has a ton of depth, and the show is actually built around her. Like, they call it the Bad Batch, but it's built around Omega. Yeah. Which is really interesting. And from the outset in episode 1, or season 1 of the Bad Batch, you can tell there's something different about her. Yeah. But you had no idea that it was going to lead up to where we're at now. Yeah. They started to give you hints, but you had no idea that it was going to be like, hey, she's the reason that the Palpatine clone exists. Yeah. Yeah, and that's awesome, dude. Yeah, that's well said. And if you could have bet me credits that Crosshair would be back with the Batch before Echo, I wouldn't have took that bet, dude. Yeah. I mean, I would have took the bet if Echo would have been back, but I mean, here we are, dude. I didn't expect that to be so soon. Yeah, and it makes me think, what are we gearing up toward in this season? Crosshair's back, which is good. So what are we gearing up toward? Because we're gonna see Papa Rex back, and we're gonna see Echo probably. Yeah. So who else? Like, do you think? What do you think is the ultimate goal here? I mean, we got Ventress coming up too still, so we may see. I'm not sure how she's going to tie in. I mean, I don't know. She may be a PI these days, like a private investigator. Like, I could see that kind of fits her skill set. So I mean, there's a lot of ways they can go, especially now. And I'm glad they brought Crosshair back so soon. I feel like it leaves a ton of room. This being the last season to really try and take down. This whole operation and go back to Tanis and free all the clones and stuff, but I think that's the first time. I think that's the first time in our 3-year history that I've sneezed on camera. The first sneeze on camera, dude. That's actually crazy. That's never happened before, dude. You just witnessed history. Oh, anyway, no, I think I definitely agree with you that the Crosshair coming back super soon allows a ton of room for his development, but also like the Batch's development again. We get to see them together again. And one thing that I wanted to say that I really enjoyed is that how they immediately didn't accept him back. I think that's sick. Yeah. Because I feel like in a kid's show, like in a normal kid's show, like something like that happens. They're like, oh, they helped Omega back. Like, oh, we're all friends again. No, they're like... It's greedy. They were like...
What's your angle, Crosshair?
And it also goes to show like how loyal the batch was, dude. And the young clones pointed it out in episode 2 that like they're always gonna go back and search. So it cut deep when Crosshair left.
Yeah.
And then said, "Oh, I got the chip out.
Yeah.
I'm still with the Empire." But obviously, they're gonna bring Crosshair back in, but it takes time for something like that. And I agree with you. I like that they're showing that it takes time.
Yeah, and I feel like it's definitely going to be that's going to be a journey they definitely explore. I don't know if it'll be fixed next episode. It may take a little while, and I feel like we're probably going to constantly be looking over our shoulders, being like, "When's Crosshair going to turn? When's Crosshair going to turn?"
And something that Eric Voss pointed out about like the little mini arc in this episode about how Batcher was chasing Crosshair around the ship at the beginning, like barking at him, and then by the end they're friends again. So maybe that was like a little parallel to how the relationship with the Batch is gonna go.
Yeah,
like Crosshair has to earn their trust back by helping Omega like he did with Batcher and just helping the Batch.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think Omega is going to be the key, like between the reconciliation of the Batch and Crosshair, because she's like, I mean, like we said, she is the glue, but she's also the most naturally trusting of all of them.
Oh yeah.
And she's also the most willing to believe that like Crosshair could be different. So Omega hopefully can bridge the Batch together.
Yeah, and I guess like one kind of thought I have at the end of this is like you mentioned earlier. I just have a bad feeling they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's gonna be like just so sad in a heroic way. They're like I think I said this last episode, but like they go out knowing that they won't be able to take Omega and torture her and take her DNA, and they go out together like Rogue One, man. Ugh, that would hit.
Yeah,
that would hit very sad.
Dude, talk about an underappreciated ending.
Yeah.
People jank on the Rogue One ending. It's like all these great characters that died, but it's like when you think about it, that's what makes the show so great. Is that or the movie so great is that they did their mission and it didn't end on a happy ending. Yeah. In fact, it ended with Vader. It ended with hope, I guess technically, because the disc gets delivered to Leia. But it's like he was out there slaughtering people.
Yeah,
and that's one of the coolest things. So.
And then we still got Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
So
Cassian Andor.
We still got that show. So I guess another final thought is that I think I said this last season, but the fact that Echo has been gone so long with Rex, I think we still may get an animated show like The Adventures of Echo and Rex, or something like that.
I definitely, because Star Wars animation, especially this type of animation with Dave Filoni at the helm,
they got to keep it going.
Yeah, you got to keep it going in some kind of capacity,
yeah.
Dude. Even if you have to go back and do imagine like a show like The Acolyte, but animated. That would be sick.
And I feel like they're dabbling with like the Tales of the Jedi and stuff, like, and I love Tales of the Jedi, but like going back further than the Clone Wars and stuff with that. But yeah, I feel like they're gonna keep the animation going.
Yeah,
but give us a prime time slot. I mean, I guess this is prime time for other countries.
But for us, it's freaking 3 a.m.
Yeah, I just wish there was a way that everybody in the world could watch it prime time.
Yeah, exactly. I think, I hope they stick with the animation. Especially, dude, imagine if they did a show, not like Star Wars The Clone Wars, but it's like the Lost Battles or something like that, where, because like, all the things that we see in Clone Wars is only a fraction of what was actually going on in the galaxy, dude. Just imagine, because like, we see Fives and Echo on Kamino, and then we don't see him again, really, until the Citadel arc, and then we don't see him again. Like, imagine we had a show tracking Domino Squad, the remainder of Domino Squad,
dude.
In each post.
That would be sick.
Yeah, and then we lost, obviously, Echoes, and then only we had Fives. So, I would just have a show centered around Fives.
Yeah. And Dave Filoni, man, he's on the screen still. Like, what a master storyteller. Dude.
Yeah, yes.
He's such a legend, dude. Just the way he crafts his stories and the dialogue, it's just incredible.
Yeah, and like I said last week, I think with Clone Wars, like the fact that they could pack so much into a 22-minute episode and it makes sense and it's good, that's skillful. That is skillful.
It really is.
When you really think about it, like people jank on short form content, and some of it's like brain rot, but some of it, if you're good at it, packing that much content into a minute-long video it takes more skill than packing it into a 10-minute-long video.
Yeah.
So it's like a masterful thing. So talk about the guy, Dave Filoni.
Yeah, and even tells the Jedi with like half of Clone Wars. I mean, it's just, that felt like a movie watching one of those episodes. I can't wait for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I can't wait for Star Wars in general. It's on the up and up, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, let us know what you guys think of this episode and Star Wars as a whole, and thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.